Hey guys, so I've decided this year to swap my power tools. I usually stick with steel. My power blowers and trimmers and chainsaws to electric, but I wanted to test them out a little bit. So I got here the electric equivalent to the BG55, which is this guy. I've used this one for this model for well over 10 years. I love them, they're great. But it's time to start going electric, especially when I'm using them at home. This guy is just great for that. I don't smell like two-stroke exhaust. It's very quiet, so if the kids are sleeping, it's really nice, easy to just blow off the deck or blow out the garage without getting exhaust everywhere. Hey guys, here's a review that I've wanted to do for quite some time. The electric steel brush cutter versus the gas powered. This is the FS91R gas powered, and its equivalent, from what I can tell, is the FSA135R in the battery. Unfortunately, what steel doesn't tell you is the FSA90R, which you'd think would be the equivalent model, is not the same. This one, which is the same style that I've been using right back to when it used to be the FS85R back in the early 2000s, has always had a solid shaft with a removable head. You can put on a chainsaw or a blower or a hedge trimmer, basically whatever attachment they have fits on there. And like I said, solid shaft. Okay, and then they came out with the KM version, which has the split shaft, which I absolutely hate. But if I wanted to go electric without waiting 3 or 4 months, then that's what I had to go with. Now this one does have the removable head, so it is the exact same head, completely interchangeable. Can still put the hedge trimmer attachments and the chainsaws on there, no problem. But the FSA90R, which is the same model number as this, but the electric version, the electric motor is actually in the head, which is something they don't tell you. So I bought that one accidentally. There's no motor up there, it's just the battery, and it powers the electric motor down there, so you can't actually take the head off and change it with a different head. So I was pretty disappointed in that. But anyway, once I worked out the details, got a 135R, definitely more expensive, but it is basically the same version, just electric. So I have not yet used it, but I have been playing around with it a little bit. It seems to be quite good. It's got the interchangeable commercial battery with the blower. It's actually about the same weight, so you know, the gas powered one versus the electric, maybe it's slightly heavier, but I'd say it's pretty close. But a couple of pros about the battery is a much sleeker motor. So you can see how much bulkier the gas powered one is versus the electric, and it goes in for height as well. Gas powered one has significant rise right here, whereas the electric is much lower profile. So when you're up there on the scaffolding trimming hedges and trees, that is a really, really nice bonus. Another big bonus, obviously, to the electric versus the gas is that, again, when you're up on scaffolding or in a tree, you don't have exhaust being blown right in your face, and you don't have a screaming engine in your ears. So very, very nice. Electric is also much, much quieter, and this one, the 135, has 3 speeds. So you can see there's the first speed, there's the second speed, and there's the top speed, and it is pretty quiet. So the only real noise that I can tell is basically just the trimmer head. That's what's really creating most of the noise. But you can't really avoid that. One of the disadvantages of the electric is this is the lowest speed. you can't go slower than that. The motor just doesn't do it. So when you go try to go below that speed, it just turns off. So that is one disadvantage. Not so much with the trimmer, but I'm definitely anticipating that being a bit of an issue when you're using a hedge trimmer or a chainsaw attachment. I got my chainsaw attachment right there. You know, when you're up in a tree again or on scaffolding, sometimes you need that really, really low speed to get some good control and get a nice cut. I don't see it being an issue with the trimmer because you're pretty much going to be at medium to high speed when you're cutting grass. But aside from that, I think it's a pretty good trade-in. I don't know yet how good the battery is. This is the AP300S. This is the, I think this is the second largest commercial version they offer. So these guys aren't cheap. These are, they're about, I think it was about 300 Canadian. And then I had to buy the charger separately. That was about 80 bucks. And then the trimmer was just over 400. And the trimmer does not come with the trimmer attachment. It is just the motor. So you actually have to buy the trimmer separately. That was about 120. So luckily I've got another 3 of the gas ones. So I've got a bunch of heads. I've got the chainsaw attachment. I've got a bunch of hedge trimmer attachments as well. So I am definitely not short on attachments for it, but it is definitely a big chunk of cash to dish out when you're deciding to convert. So I only bought the one battery and I share that with the blower, and basically I'm just going to try these 2 out this season, see how much I like them, and if I'm pretty satisfied with them, I'm probably just going to convert all my gas powered to electric next year. So that'll be another big expense because I'll have to go with at least 1 spare battery per machine. So if I've got 4 of them, I'm going to need at least 8 batteries. So it's going to be a few $1,000 easily. But it will pay off, I think, with the lack of maintenance that is needed on these electrics. The lack of buying fuel and oil, it should pay for itself. The one thing I am a little concerned, and if anybody has already been testing these out, trying them for the last couple of years, let me know. But I'm just concerned about these things being used in the rain, because the gas powered ones, we've been caught in rainstorms many times. They've been left in the truck and the trailer, no issues. They get drenched. They're great. They're just, you fire them up and they're fine. I can't see that being the same case with the electric ones. So I would assume that once the rain gets in here, it would just fill up this compartment and eventually make its way into the motor, and next thing you know, your machine is finished. So if anybody has any experience with that, please let me know. I'd love to know, or better yet, if you got a link to a video, let me know. I'd love to see it. And that's it for today.